Hi, and welcome to my channel. I'm Lauren, this is Ziggy, my other pup Zoe's behind, and today is episode 5 of the core conditioning series. For today's class, we're going to focus on rotational movements of the core. So there's a couple props that you're going to need. If you're on a rug or a carpet like myself, then grab 2 paper plates. Otherwise, if you're working with wood floor, then grab a towel or a blanket so that you can utilize it to slide around. Then grab a yoga strap. If you don't have one of these, grab a scarf, a belt, something that's long enough that you can wrap all the way around your rib cage. Finally, you're going to need a yoga block. If you don't have one of these, grab something that's similar in shape and form so that we can utilize it to find the center of our chest, our sternum, and feel where we're rotating from. So grab all the things that you need, and as always, hit that subscribe and like button. That just helps so that you can stay up to date on all the new content that I'm going to be releasing. And once you have everything that you need, slip into something comfortable, and I'll meet you here on the mat. Let's first begin by grabbing your strap. Unravel it and place it around your rib cage from the back to the front. So if you're not sure where to actually place it, find where your waist is. So feel with your hands, and you'll know because it's squishy and there's no bones there. And then once you move up, you'll feel the bones, the rib cage, right? So take that strap to the lower part of the rib cage, under your sternum, and under your chest. Once you have the strap around the rib cage, crisscross it. You don't have to tie it off, and just hold on to it with your palms facing up. Now, I know sitting on the ground isn't always the most comfortable, so if you need to prop yourself up a little bit or sit in any other position aside from how I'm sitting, go ahead and do that. Then, once you're holding onto the strap, palms facing up, shoulders relaxed, bring your eyes to a close. Take a moment to find the stack of your body, your head over your shoulders, shoulders over the rib cage over the pelvis. This is going to make it more optimal for you to breathe in a balanced and full manner. Take a deep inhalation through your nose. Feel the ribs expand outward into the strap. A 360-degree expansion. Exhale through the nose and feel the ribs drawing back in towards itself. Good. For right now, I want you to just focus on the movement around your waist or around your rib cage where that strap is. Keep breathing. Now, this may be a new sensation for you, a new experience. And if you tend to feel your movement up in your neck and shoulders, this may be a challenge in and of itself. See if you can keep the shoulders out of the equation and direct your focus to where the strap is, trying to pressurize and depressurize the core as you breathe. Now, as you're here, you may notice quite a bit. Maybe you observe that there's less movement on the back side of the body than the front. That's typically more common. Second to that is you may notice the sides of the waist are not as full or moving as much as the front. As you take your final 3 cycles of breath here, see if you can also feel movement downward into the base of the pelvis as you breathe. So that pressurization goes out and down as you inhale, and up and in as you exhale. Take one more breath in and out. And then go ahead and blink your eyes open and remove the strap. So whatever you observed, think of that as your starting place. And as you move through the practice and end, we're going to come back to that exercise. I want you to notice if there's a difference in how you're breathing or if there's more balance in your core. So now grab your yoga block and you can even switch the crossing of your legs because we've been in that position for a bit of time. Take the skinnier side of the block or a book to the center of the chest, the sternum. We're going to use the block just as we did the strap to gain external feedback, or to use it as external feedback to observe where we're truly rotating from. Not our head, not our arms, but where our chest is turning. So once you have that block set up, give it a hug, and then take a deep inhale. Notice if you default to chest up, shoulders up. See if you can breathe like you did with the strap. And then exhale, twist to your right. Notice how your hips are fixed to the ground. So we're rotating from our mid back up as much as possible. Again, inhale, stay where you are. Exhale, see if you can twist a little more. Let's take 2 more cycles of breath. Once more. Good. Now notice how far you've rotated from when you started. This is mainly your thoracic rotation. So from here, we can learn about, okay, how far am I turning? And we can also observe that when you exhale, that's when you depressurize the core, and that's what actually gives you space to move into that twist. Come back to center. We're going to switch and rotate to the other side. So take an inhale, see if you can breathe all the way around your rib cage. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale again. Exhale, so you can twist a little further. Take 2 more cycles of breath. And then notice how far you've turned to this side versus the first side. And you may notice one side is a lot easier to rotate towards than the other, or there's less resistance that you're encountering. Come back to center and set that block to the side. So again, that was rotation from the rib cage up. You may have found your low back trying to help you out, but with the hips fixed to the ground, that kind of limits the lower back and keeps you honest about that thoracic rotation. So now we're going to actually incorporate the hips in the low back. Sit on your right hip and turn your left leg inward. Now, I know this position may not be comfortable for everybody, so take your right hand beside you and kind of use it to prop your body up. Take a deep breath in as you place your left hand to your right shoulder. Exhale, twist, and look over your right shoulder here. Now, as you're doing this, twist from your hips, so engage the back of that left glute, rotate your hips and pelvis, and then rotate all the way up to the head and neck. So we're involving the whole spinal column. Come back to center, inhale. Exhale again, rotate and look. Just notice maybe you can turn a little further this time through repetitive movement. Maybe it gets a little easier. Do that again. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale as you rotate and look over that right shoulder. Now, stay where you are. I'm going to turn and face towards you so you can see me here. Now, as I'm rotated, I want you to keep from your shoulders down stable. No movement there. Just move your head and neck. So take an inhale and an exhale. Good. From here, turn your head to your left and then turn your head to your right. It's like you're saying no. Again, to your left and to your right. Do that one more time. Left and right. Good. Now, we're going to keep everything locked in place from our head down to the hips and pelvis. The only thing I want you to move are your eyes. And I know this might seem kind of weird, but your eyes are connected, or there's a muscle in the back of the neck that connects to your eyes. So we're trying to isolate the movement of your eyes, separate from your neck, separate from the rest of the spinal column. So you're just going to turn your eyes to the right and to the left. Do that 2 more times, and you may notice your neck muscles kind of twitching. They might want to help you out here, but we're trying to keep them out of the equation. Good. Relax for a moment, turn back forward. Now, we're going to do that again, but since we've done all of those steps, you may notice on this time, you can go a little further. So take your right hand beside you or a little bit behind you. Take your left hand to your right shoulder. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, twist from your hips and pelvis. Look over your right shoulder, and you may notice you've turned a little further. What you can see, or an object on the wall, maybe that's more clear to you than it was when you first started. Come back to center and have a seat with your legs crossed, and just notice how it feels, the right side of the body versus the left, right? The right side is what we turn towards. So if it helps, you can close your eyes. And for me personally, I notice that my right shoulder feels lower, the right side of the body more relaxed versus the left side of the body, because we work that right side. We rotated towards it. So now we're going to do that on the other side. Sit on your left hip and turn your right leg inward. Place your left hand beside you, or a little bit behind you here, and place your right hand to your left shoulder. Take an inhale. Try to breathe into your rib cage. Exhale, twist from your hips and pelvis and peek over your left shoulder here. And notice how far you can see. Maybe there's an object or a spot on the wall. Just keep that in mind, because that is your starting point. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, rotate and look over that left shoulder. Good. Do that one more time. Good. Now pause. And again, I'm going to turn towards you so you can see, but you can stay where you are. Now you're going to keep everything from your shoulders down the same, stable. The only thing I want you to move is your head and neck. So from here, you're going to turn your head to your right and to your left, to the right and to the left. Do that one more time. Good. Now pause. Keep your head turned. Keep everything from your head down stable. And the only thing I want you to move are your eyes. So you're going to scan your eyes to your right and to your left, to your right and to your left. One more time. Right and left. Good. Relax your eyes for a moment. We're going to do that again. And I want you to see if you can go a little further than the first time. So left hand behind you, right hand to your left shoulder. Take a breath in. Exhale as you turn and look, and you may notice that you've turned quite a bit further than when you started, warming up those rotational muscles, or the muscles that help facilitate rotation of the spine, and all the way up from your hips and pelvis. Come all the way back to center, and again, you can sit cross-legged here, and just notice how both sides of the body feel now. Both shoulders may be more relaxed. Your back may be more full, so not as hollowed out, because we've gotten blood flow and movement and breath there. Nice. So go ahead and open your eyes. Okay. So as you're here, we're going to do thread the needle with the paper plates or the towels. Take an inhale as you're here. You're on hands and knees. As you exhale, you're going to slide your right arm underneath your left, thread it through the armpit, and think about rotating your spine as actively as possible without twisting from your hips. So we're coming back to that thoracic rotation from your rib cage up. Notice the tendency for the hips to sway to the side or to twist. Try to keep your hips over your knees, pelvis in a neutral position. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, you're going to switch. Thread your left arm underneath the right. Try to avoid moving those hips. And you may notice there's some resistance. So see if you can find or feel in your body here. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale as you twist. Now, if you're using your blanket, make sure that you have space. What I like to do is kind of spread out the blanket, grip onto the sides, and then use the blanket to slide and twist from there. Inhales, always coming back through center. Exhales to twist, to reach, and to thread the chest through the gateway of the arms. Again, try not to move those hips. Keep going. Do that one more time to each side. Last one here to your right. And then come back to center. You can set your paper plates or your towel blanket to the side. And now we're going to take thread the needle in the more traditional approach, which is a little more passive. We're kind of holding in that shape for a little longer. And keep in mind, there's not a right or wrong way to do thread the needle. They're just different approaches, and therefore you're going to get different sensations and experiences. So come onto your hands and knees. From here, you're going to take your right arm up to the sky first. Notice the tendency for your hips to sway to the side. Try to keep your hips over the knees. Then thread your right arm through underneath that left armpit. Pause, resting on your shoulder. What I like to do once I'm here in this shape is to place my hand to my pelvis and feel that it's level like a table. And then taking my other arm out in front or underneath the shoulder and hanging out here for about 3 deep breaths. Good. Unwind, placing that left hand under your left shoulder. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Try to avoid swaying the hips to the side. And then return to your hands and knees. Good. Now we're going to switch to the other side. Reach your left arm up. Again, notice where your chest is pointing. Inhale. Exhale, thread the needle. Slide your left arm underneath that right armpit, resting down on that right. And then pausing, trying to keep both sides of the pelvis level like a table. You can take your right hand under the right shoulder or reach it overhead, encouraging that rotation here in the spine and twisting, utilizing your breath as your facilitator. Take one more breath in and out. Good. Unwind, placing the right hand underneath the right shoulder, reaching your left arm back up to the sky. You may notice it feels a little easier to rotate, and then return back to your hands and knees. Nice. From here, make your way to your back. And Ziggy, watch out. And as you make your way to your back, make sure there's some space beside you because we're going to do some rolling and reaching, kind of similar to the last class where we did lateral movements, rolling side to side. Reach your arms up to the sky and take your legs in a reverse tabletop position. We're kind of putting everything together now in what's called a DNS star, or dynamic neuromuscular stabilization. And when we're doing this, it kind of involves a little bit of hip and shoulder stability and stability of the entire core while rotating the core. So there's a lot of steps. Let's break it down here. So as you have the arms up, draw just behind your rib cage, thoracic spine number 12, down towards the floor, and draw just behind your belly button, lumbar spine number 3, down to the floor. Notice how by doing this, it keeps your core stable, engaged, but you're not sucking in the belly or bracing here. Take a deep breath in. As you're here, you're going to roll to the right-hand side as you exhale, pressing the elbow down, waist height. Press your forearm down and lift up. So pause once you're here. This is going to feel familiar from episode 3, I believe, of the core conditioning series. We're going to add on though. So press your shins down, lift your hips up. Now pause. Lift your top leg up, and you're going to reach with your top arm and your top leg in opposite directions. In order to do this though, you want to be stable through the bottom shoulder, pressing down into the forearm, and stable through the bottom hip, pressing down and through the shin bone. As you're here, exhale, reach your right arm, reach your left leg in opposite directions. Inhale, come back to center, roll to your back. Exhale, you're going to switch to the other side. Place your left forearm down, waist height, press yourself up. Then press your shins down, lift your hips up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale as you reach your top arm and your top leg in opposite directions, twisting and reaching. Inhale, come back to center, roll to your back. We're going to keep going. Exhale, press into the forearm, lift up onto your shins, Take an inhale here. Exhale, twist and reach. Top arm, top leg reaching in opposite directions. Inhale, come back to center, roll to your back. Exhale, switch. Take your left forearm down, waist tight, press up. Exhale, press the shins down, lift your hips up. Take an inhale. Exhale, reach top arm, top leg in opposite directions. Think like you're trying to rotate your chest towards the floor as you rotate your hips towards the sky. Inhale, roll to your back. Keep going. Exhale, roll to your right. Press the right forearm down, lift up. Come on to your shins. Deep breath in. Exhale, reach. Chest down, hips back and up. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, roll to your back. Good. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, roll to the left. Press down into your shins. Lift your hips up. Inhale first. Exhale, reach. Inhale, come back to the center. Roll to your back. Let's do that one more time to each side. So coming up, pressing on the shins. Inhale first before you reach. Exhale as you reach. So you're working on that exertion. Inhale, come back to center. Roll to your back. Inhale through center. Exhale the other direction. Make sure as you press up onto the shin, you're stable. Inhale first. Exhale as you reach. Good. Roll to your back. Hug your knees to your chest and rock from side to side. So now, after doing all of those exercises, let's come up and see if anything has changed, if anything feels different. So you can rock yourself up, grab your block. Let's kind of test the rotation of the thoracic spine. Take the block to the center of the chest and give it a hug. Take a deep inhale. See if you can breathe more fully into your rib cage. Exhale, twist to your right. Maybe you can twist a little further, or maybe it just feels easier, less stiff. I know for me, this is where the first part where I turn, that's where I ended the first time. So now I'm starting from where I last ended, and I'm going a little further. One more breath. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and remove the block, and you're going to take that strap around your rib cage from the back to the front, just like how we started. Crisscross the strap, hold on to it with your palms facing up, relax your shoulders down. Good. And just as we began, see if you can find and feel the stack of your body, your head over your shoulders, shoulders over the rib cage over the pelvis. Take an inhale, see if you can feel the movement out into the rib cage and down into the base of the pelvis. Exhale, see if you can feel that movement up from the pelvis and in around the rib cage. Continue breathing on your own. And notice what you notice. Take one more breath in and out. And then open your eyes and unravel the strap. So you may have noticed from beginning to end more balance in your core, in your breathing, and from that, creating a more stable core. I hope you enjoyed today's class and can walk away from this practice feeling more balanced and stable in the core, especially when it comes to breathing and rotation. We're not done yet with this series though. The next class, we're going to focus on spinal segmentation. And if you enjoyed today's class, as always, hit that subscribe and like button and share in the comments what you found challenging from this class, maybe some aha moments, and what you're looking forward to in the next class of this series. Until then, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.